Hi guys, happy Friday. So today we will be doing a walk around of a new Bobcat E45 compact excavator. My father leased this machine. He traded in the 435 excavator, and I'll get into the advantages of leasing, purchasing, or renting. I'll go through a whole video on that. But for this is a walk around of this particular excavator to give you the specs and a review, small review of it, even though I've only run it a couple of hours. This machine is the long arm option, so it weighs 10,553 pounds. If you were to get it with a standard arm, you would save around 500 pounds. You'd be down at 10,077 pounds. The speed is 1.5 miles an hour slow, 2.5 miles an hour in 2-speed. As far as the digging depth, a standard arm would give you 10 foot 10 inches. The long arm will give you an extra foot, which will bring you to 11.10. So this, like I said, is a long arm. Now, this machine will be considered a ZTS, which is a zero tail swing. However, due to the fact that it's a long arm, they have to put a counterweight on it to counter the weight of the boom and dipper that you have for the long arm. So that counterweight does protrude out ever so slightly over the track, so that will take away the zero tail swing designation from this particular model. It has a 21-gallon fuel tank. It's a tier 4 final, whatever that means, diesel, and it has a 42.7 horsepower engine. Okay, so let's go through the machine. We'll start here in the front with the bucket. You can get a standard exchange system or the manual. This is the standard exchange. This bucket is a 30-inch trenching bucket. This is the bucket my father had on the 435, so that hasn't changed. This is a newer style thumb. Already got a little nicked up here from using it yesterday. You'll see the video of it. This thumb is a lot beefier than the other thumbs that they used to have. This is all similar. This is a little beefier around here. This piston is pretty much the same, but as you can see, they put this protective steel guard here over the piston. That'll keep from dirt and debris wrecking your pin and bushing in there. Gets a little hard to grease. Down here you got your pins and bushings normal. It is this particular model is a standard auxiliary hydraulics, so he doesn't have any secondary on the other side. The thumb is plugged into that. We don't use multiple attachments at a time, so to get the second hydraulics for us would be a waste. This is the piston guard. You got the light up there. Standard push blade. The blade is 6 foot 8 inches wide, and it's a standard blade. It's not an angle blade. We get just a standard one. This machine is equipped with full cab enclosure. We'll step inside the cab in a moment. This is the fuel fill right over here. Going to the rear of the excavator now. The cab windows are a lot larger than the 435 featured.
No, I didn't get it yet. I'll get it.
This is the engine compartment. Your tier 4 particulate filter, alternator, starter. This is your alternator. This is your starter. Oil filter, dipstick to check it. Oil fill is here. Your coolant fill is here. Air filter is here. Radiator hose is all here. So all your maintenance items that you really need are all within reach. This is the pump, hydraulic pump here. And it looks like you've got another oil fill right here. So you've got access to the routine maintenance items that you need. Over here they did a much better latch design. As you see here, this little piece, we'll flip this panel up. Alright, so over here you have access to your hydraulic oil fill. This is a fuel water separator, so I guess this is your new fuel filter. They don't have one in the back. This is the radiator, so you have access to clean it. You have hydraulic oil filter here, valve body is here, battery is here, somewhat in reach. I'll accept it. It's acceptable for a zero machine. Fuse box. This might be the brain of the machine, part of the computer system. Looks like it's got a lot of electrical going to it. All sound suppression. Just so you know, this is still all cheap junk plastic. Junk. Okay, pushing this cover closed. And this is your hydraulic oil check straw to see if you have hydraulic fluid. Once that gets a little bit dirty, it's nearly impossible to read. We have that problem on the E32. So they did do some upgrades from where the E32 was at, and this is just a decal for your grease points, gives you some instructions, checklist and schedule for when you should change your fluids, which I think just about all the Bobcats always had that, even back to Danger Zone. Okay. Because this is a zero machine, I guess they feel you didn't need that protective guard that they have to protect this piece of junk plastic. So don't worry, any little tree limb or any bush that you may come into contact with, that'll get all in there. Wreck that little piece of plastic. I gotta complain about something. Okay. This is the other side of the boom. You can see the spot there for the secondary auxiliary hydraulics. So if you wanted to get the secondary hydraulics, if my father chose to, he can. There are your D-rings for it. So this machine is equipped to have add-ons, those little tabs up there on the cab for lights if you need more lighting. And they even have a rear light now if you need that in the back. This is your ID plate, 2017. These two Zerks, very important to grease. This is for your turntable and your swing house. So they're very important to grease. That just about covers everything out here. And Bobcat always likes to brag about their hydraulic hoses all being within the boom. That is something that is true. I've noticed it on other machines. You see all the tubing. Everything is run inside the boom. It's well protected. There's a grease Zerk all the way up there. But everything is protected. And they do put the swing piston on this side, so you can be right against the house, right against the structure, and not touch it. Okay. So this little flimsy piece of steel holds your door open. And this little latch catches it, so don't go up against anything too close. Once again, open the door. See how that latches, locks it in place. Okay, so we'll climb up into the cab. See, everything is all within the house. I'm going to show you the big floor that they have in this machine. Okay, just give me a moment. These handles have been upgraded in the M series. They're much better. See, they hold the door real sturdy. I'm going to retract the window up. One thing that I like and I don't like about it, my father likes that it's just the glass. They don't put the steel around it because the steel and the glue always came separated, so that was always a problem. So this basically, this whole configuration is what's reinforcing the glass to the door. So it's just nuts and bolts. You could tighten them as necessary. And the gas springs are there to help you. So let's retract this up. Now that locks in place. The E32's window would shake, rattle, and roll. This is actually a nice, tight, snug fit. Fits up nice. You can still see out the top window, even though you got that little bar up there. Okay, let me show you the major flaw now with getting in and out of this machine. Now they brag how everything's inside the cab frame. How about this thing? How about this thing? If you're a tall man or woman, I'm not tall, so I don't have this problem. But as you can see, I get in, I have to duck. Even I have to duck. I don't know if you could see this. Try to show you. As you can see, you have to duck in and around it even being 5'4", and I'm thin, I'm in shape, still got a duct to get in. So something you should be wary of. We have the operator's manual back here. There's an operator manual compartment back here, if you could see it. The seat, really nice, comfortable cloth seat, so don't leave your windows open in a rainstorm, it'll be ruined. This is your dome light. Radio speakers are flush mounted up here. Your radio is located right down here. You got a storage compartment, cup holder back there. This is a 12-volt power port. This is a auxiliary jack for your iPod or for your phone. I guess for your phone, who needs an iPod anymore? All right, you got some vents here. Got vents down here, down there, vent right up here. Got another cup holder down there, so at least you could have a cup of coffee and a bottle of water. Bottom piece of glass, you got your windshield wipers here. Let's put this safety panel down. So this is for auxiliary hydraulics, your secondary auxiliary hydraulics, or you would have your hydraulic exchange button that would be located in this vicinity. Seat belt. These are adjustable. The left joystick, this controls the independent boom swing. This thumb wheel controls the auxiliary hydraulics. This is your dozer blade lever, that's the float position. Pull it back, up and down, 2-speed control. So it's all at your fingertips. On the floor, you just have your 2 travel pedals. Control them with your feet, you control them with your hands. You can flip up the pedals if you want, like so, if you want more leg room, or if you're like my father, you don't use your feet to control the machine. I do, so I keep them down. This is your throttle, turn dial, just like the loaders now. Okay, this is the key switch. Turn it to run. Display comes on. It's going to prompt you to enter your password, so I will do that. Once you enter your password, press the enter button. Now the machine is good to go. If you had glow plugs, it would count down here in yellow. Screen says nothing. That means you're good to turn the key on. The machine is now active, ready to go. Now auto idle is automatic on this machine. Now if you wanted to change that, you're going to scroll over to machine performance, press number 3, auto idle delay time. You could set it from 4 seconds all the way to 250 seconds, but I don't believe you could turn it off. If you want to go into economy mode, for the economy for fuel, push that, it's on, push that, it's off. That means you get maximum power to the machine. If you're in economy, it's going to tone it down for fuel conservation, but we're not going to do that. We're going to let this thing roar. Okay, this is for passwords, machine history. So if you wanted to see if a error code appeared for your certain operator, because if you press 1, I'll enter the code, I'll show you a little bit here. So it'll give you a list of the passwords, right? So if you look over here, I have all the names of the people who would run a machine. It then gives you your passwords and the job clock, how long the operators have worked that machine. Okay? You could also take the lock on and off. It does not have to stay on. This controls your clocks, language, and display. No active warnings. This is your vitals screen. So this is your engine RPM. This is the engine temperature, hydraulic oil pressure, hydraulic oil temperature, battery. I think that's either your hydraulic oil or engine oil. And that is your fuel consumption. So 0.2 of a gallon an hour. I'm assuming that's what that means. This is for your planned maintenance, if you want to get into that. And this would be your home screen. If you want to turn on the lights, press number 1. That'll turn your lights on. Press it again, lights are off. If you want to adjust your auxiliary hydraulics, you can control the speed. So I'll show you that. We're now revved all the way. See how quick the thumb is going? Now if you wanted to slow it down, that'll bring it down to medium speed or slow speed. So you saw the engine idle down 4 seconds. I didn't touch anything. Let's bring the engine back up. Okay. So you see how slow the thumb is going? As opposed to when it was in 3 mode. So if you're controlling an auger, or if you put your arm up, the machine will automatically throttle down. So if you have an auger or a hydraulic breaker, you want to move it faster or slower, you don't have to worry about the thumb wheel. You can just do it right off your screen. And the nice thing is, you put the panel down, goes back right to your last setting. You don't have to push an auxiliary button. You don't have to reset your speed for the auxiliary hydraulics. You can do whatever you want. That shuts your auxiliaries off if you don't even want them on. Press it again, it's on 3. Engine temperature, fuel gauge. Okay, this is the time and the date. Okay, so that basically covers it in here. Going to shut this machine down now. Just turn it as if you would turn off a normal key. This is your heat and AC control. That's engine, that's fan speed. This is hot or cold. And this is for your compressor on and off. All right. And down over here, turn this little knob, and you've got your pattern selection switch. So this is for, let's say, ISO control. This would be standard Bobcat control. So that's it. I hope this walk around and review helped you. If you have any questions or comments, overall, I like the machine. I used it a couple of hours. It runs pretty good. It's way better than our original E32, but it's still not as good as the 337. So any questions, comments, like, dislike, let me know. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.